you get the fact that no one's retiring anytime soon. We're getting to the 7-step process. There's the 7-step process. We're going to go through all 7 of these really, really quickly so that you have an understanding of the overview of what it is that you have to do as a real estate entrepreneur. Notice how I've changed the word. You don't hear me say real estate investor. You hear me say real estate entrepreneur because I need you to think like a business owner, not just like what normally happens, an investor or just a fix and flipper or, I do probate. By the way, that doesn't tell me anything about your business other than how you buy your inventory. Okay? Just keep that in mind. That's the only thing you've communicated. You've told me how you buy your inventory. Cool. Well, how do you actually make money? That's what I want to know, right? When I'm trying to help someone. So when it comes down to it, every real estate entrepreneur has 3 customers. How many?
3.
How many?
3.
3 customers. You have 3 primary people that you are serving, right? Here's the fun part. This is where you get to choose. You get to choose which ones. Number 1, you have buyers. People who want to buy something from you, period. That's all they want. They just want to buy it from you and then run it themselves, do their own thing. Maybe they mess it up and sell it back to you later. Doesn't really matter. They just want to buy something from you. Second person is sellers. They have something they don't want. Usually a piece of real estate. It could be land or a cell phone tower. Okay? It can be all kinds of things. They just don't want it. And they don't want it for a myriad of reasons. And then you have investors. People who have more money than they know what to do with. Or, better said, they have money, but would rather use their money in someone else's system than their own knowledge and time. Let me illustrate. These are the 4 primary components that you're going to need. Please remember this, write this down. If you haven't been taking notes, now's the time. It's knowledge, time, money, and credit. What is it? Knowledge, time, money, credit. Those are the 4 basic components that you must have. They are in every deal. Here's the great news. You personally need only to possess 1. You can leverage for the rest. And here's why. Real estate trumps everything else for one major reason. How many of you have ever seen the show Shark Tank? Yes? Awesome. I call that the best education on TV, right? The one thing that real estate has, because when those entrepreneurs are coming in, there are 2 things that the sharks are always asking for. 2 things. What are they? What's that? Sure, they're asking for equity, but what are they asking for from the entrepreneur in terms of if they're going to make an investment?
How much have they sold?
Whoa, somebody, yeah, I heard it. I heard you said.
How much have they sold?
Yeah, how much they sold. Someone said revenue. They're looking for sales, right? You know why? Sales says this concept is proven, period. They're looking for POC, proof of concept. Prove to me that someone's actually going to buy this. Well, here's what's great about real estate. How many of you realize that even my 7-year-old gets the fact that people live in houses? Right? She's got the concept. How long has that been the case? A long time. Real estate is useful because everybody needs a place to live, work, play, or lay. You live in a piece of real estate when you go home. Even when you're camping, you're on a tent on somebody's real estate. Okay? Right? Every time you go to the movies, the amusement parks, Universal Studios, Disneyland, it's real estate. By the way, Disney, the company as we know it today, would not exist if Walt didn't figure out Disneyland, because that's how they were able to continue to produce all the movies that we still love and enjoy. That's what stabilized the company, not the movies. Until he managed to pull Disneyland together, the company was constantly in financial trouble. Constantly. Live, work, so that was live, work, play. Well, yeah, you work in a piece of real estate, right? that's just going to happen. Now, I'm going to say this next place where I said lay. This is, in my opinion, this is the next booming real estate market, but nobody is talking about it today. I am here to tell you, I'm thinking in about 8, maybe 10 years, you are going to be up late one night, and the words that I am about to say to you are going to come out on the TV, and you're going to go, dang it, I shoulda. Because what has the death rate been since the beginning of time? It's 100%. It's really good. There's 2 who have managed to escape. You are correct. You are 2, so I should say the death rate since Jesus, right? Yeah, okay. There are 2 who have managed, Elvis is still alive somewhere, right? Jimmy Hoffa, possibly, but you get my point. The death rate has been 100%. Now, if you follow a certain demographic through their lifespan, you will see that every time this demographic touches this area of the economy, that area of the economy absolutely explodes. Baby boomers. I'm telling you, in about 8 years, you're going to hear late night, buy my 1995 course on how to own a funeral home and make a ton of money. I am not kidding. It's going to happen because they're going to need a place that's called their final resting place, which is still real estate. They're going to need it. It's going to happen. But who in here is brave enough to go buy the land today? Who's willing to start the... You can't tell me, you can't say, no, they're not going to die. They're all going to live. And I mean, what are you going to... I'm just saying, it is guaranteed. You want a guaranteed customer? I just gave you like 60 million of them. Right? Just saying, all right? The point I'm making here is that when it comes to real estate, proof of concept is already handled. You don't have to prove the concept because it's not new. Everybody gets it. That's why everybody's willing to participate. That's why you're here. That's why there are bankers and lenders and private money. That's why all of these individuals want a piece of the real estate pie. It's because it's a proven concept. If I came here tonight with a different type of, cell phone, you'd be like, dude, how are you going to beat Apple? That'd be one of the first questions. Because if I was on Shark Tank with a new cell phone, that'd be one of the first questions. How are you going to beat the people who are already there? Right? Real estate already has proof of concept. What that means is that gives you and I uncommon access to something that has the ability to produce immense value. Because we assign a lot of value to the place that we stay, especially here in California. Land value through the roof, absolutely insane in my opinion, okay? Knowledge, time, money, and credit. You need one of them, just one. You can leverage for the rest. The key thing here is this right here. And you've seen something like this before. Or some of you. How many of you have seen this or something similar to this before? Yes? How many of you have not? Okay, we've forgotten the first rule of 100% participation, so there was only 2 answers. Let's try it again. How many of you have seen something like this before? How many of you have not? Awesome! Thank you. That's all I'm after. I'll tell you what it is. It's called the cash flow quadrant. It just simply means, made famous by Robert Kiyosaki, just simply means there's about 4 ways in a capitalistic society. Now, despite what you think about the people in that White House on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we still have a capitalistic society at the moment. Therefore, there are about 4 different people who participate and who are able to earn money. In this case, E stands for the employee. They trade time for dollars. You're probably familiar with this person. You might be this person, but I give you permission to change. S is the small business owner, self-employed person. This person usually has a license for their job in some way, shape, or form, some sort of a certification. So this could be your mechanic. This could be the doctor. This could be the attorney. This could be the loan officer. All those types of jobs that typically require some sort of certification. And then there's the B business owner. He or she owns, and please write this down, owns or controls the means of production, also known as a system. Owns or controls. Did I say invents? No. Did I say runs? No. I said owns or controls the means of production, the means of producing a good or service for the use of other people and their enjoyment. That's what they own or control. An investor typically uses their cash to go out there and come back with some more friends. Now watch this. When you graduated high school, the E is the employee. Okay. When you graduated high school, how many of you, by a show of hands, went to an entrepreneurial fair? Entrepreneurial fair? What did you go to? Job fair. So you were taught to be what? And who provided that job? Somebody else. The business owner did, right? Interesting. So let's keep going. The attorney, who is really the client that they're seeking, that typically is going to need their services again and again and again, so that they have a consistent income? The business owner. Interesting. Now, the investor has already made their money, or has made some money, and they don't want to use their time and energy anymore to do something different. They just want to use their money to go out there and come back with more friends. So what they're looking for is somebody who's built or owns and controls a system that has the ability to produce money without the investor having to use their knowledge and time. Who might have that? The business owner. Is anyone noticing something interesting? Who's the one person that keeps everything going? So who's the one creating the value? Who's the one creating the value? You are, if you're the real estate entrepreneur. Why? Because there are more people looking for a job than more people providing them. Because there are more attorneys, especially in California, than we need and who are looking for clients than there are people who have work for them to do. Here's the big one that you're really messing up. You realize that there's more money than there is experience? There's more money than there is experience. Now, you remember basic economics. What happens when there's an oversupply? What to price? It goes down. So why on earth are you still paying 10, 12% on your money? There's an oversupply. I'm just asking. There's an oversupply. Because if supply is high, that should mean the cost would be cheap. What are interest rates? Free. Especially once you consider inflation. The signs, the clues are there. You're just not operating from that position because you don't even realize how much value you're creating. Because you might not have realized that, hey, I'm the one creating your job. The reason the attorney has the opportunity, the privilege of writing up yet another company formation document is because I've decided to buy another building. Again. The reason your 401k, your IRA, which by the way is one of the best places to find your money, is the reason your 401k IRA has a shot at something better than 6% or at least 6% is because it might participate directly with something that I'm doing. Does that make sense? And do you realize that the only thing you had to come up with was the idea? Hey, let's take this building and do that. Because clearly, people live in buildings. You don't even have to be, and this is why I do real estate, because I'm not smart enough to be an inventor. I just can't, I'm just like, dude, yeah, I can use an iPhone, but don't ask me to invent one. That's just not gonna happen. I don't even know if I have that kind of patience, right? I'm just like, dude, but I can use one. Many of you have passed many opportunities on the way home. The next time you're at a stoplight, I want you to pay attention. I want you to look at the light and then follow that light because it's usually attached to something. And then look the light all the way down. It's going to be attached to the ground, also known as real estate. and that's a real estate transaction. You're just not being paid on it. The next time you're on the 241 or any toll road, I want you to think about something. It's probably privately owned. And that $3 or $6 or $8.50, depending on what time you're going, it just didn't come to you. Just keep that in mind, that went to someone. These are those people that you never hear of, but have, they're the ones receiving that income. The only difference is that they realized this and did something about it. They realized that they were entrepreneurs and they had 3 different types of people that they had to go out there and find: buyers, sellers, and investors. And they went out there and made that happen. That's it. There's nothing different. They are just as fallible, okay? They make the same silly mistakes. We all do. It's kind of funny, actually. The point is, the only thing that's in your way is your addiction. Now, some of you just had like a reaction to that word, and that's cool. But I submit, if you haven't seen the results you're looking for, it's because you're addicted to one thing. How many of you want to know what it is so I can set you free? Right? You're addicted to looking good. You cannot learn and look good at the same time. You ever watch a 3, 4, 5-year-old, 2-year-old learn to walk? Do they look good? No, at that stage we call it, oh, that's cute. Except now you're 40 and ain't it so cute? That's it. Does the 2-year-old care that you're laughing at him? No. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Now, here's another way of looking at this. Anyone, parents? Yes? Parents? Where are my parents at? Excellent. Here's a question. If your child came to you when they were 2, while they were trying to learn to walk, and said, hey, Mom, Dad, I tried this walking thing, and it just ain't working out. I took like 2 steps, and I fell. I think I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life. Why are you laughing? Why is that laughable? Because it doesn't happen. Why? What would you say as the parent? Would you say, okay, son, I guess we're just going to have to get you a stroller and make it bigger as you grow? I mean, what?
You better get up.
But yes, you like it is not even, it's not an option. You know why it's not an option? Because it's an activity for daily living. You have son, you walk, you have 2 legs, you're supposed to walk. That's what happens. Period. It's not even a consideration. Yet, you write an offer. They say no. This real estate thing doesn't work. You talk to one investor. They say, I don't think that's the right deal for me. You go, there must be something wrong with me or the deal. This real estate thing doesn't work. You actually get up the courage. You stroke a check. It goes south. The money is gone. And you say, guess it's time to try stocks. And then you quit. Because you were trained between kindergarten and 12th grade to get it right the first time, and to never ask for help. And unfortunately, you think that's actually how this entrepreneur thing works. Not met one entrepreneur who's not learned how to fail. And that's the number one skill set you've forgotten: how to fail. You need to learn how to fail fast, forward, and frequently. Say that with me. Fast, forward, and frequently. That's it. Because, see, you failed before, but it took you 3 years to get back on the horse. You failed, and in fact, here's in today's world, what happens, especially with Google, before you try something, you research it, and you find out all the people who failed, and you go, oh, man, I'm not going to try that, because they failed. No matter how many examples are surrounding you of people who have actually figured it out, You still go, I guess I can't make that happen. And I find that interesting. But the only reason I'm the one talking today is because I failed more than you. Promise. Who's lost at least $100,000? 200, 300, 400, $500,000, 1 million, 1.5, 2, oh, I can keep going. Do you get my point? I had some bad experiences, but I'm still here. Because you only need one of those resources: knowledge, time, money, and credit. Do you know what a failure event is? Your first attempt in learning. What are the first letters of that spell? First attempt in learning. Got it? Here's the point. You just paid full price for the lesson. That's what you just did. And then you're going to throw it away? Especially today. Here's the great thing about failure, especially today because of iPhones and technology. And is the Periscope thing still going?
Yeah.
Hey, because of all of that, here's your worst case scenario today. You try something and it doesn't work. You can create an ebook that says, before you try this, learn what I did wrong and sell it for $19, and I promise you, you will be able to make your money back. Worst case scenario. You think I'm kidding? I'm just telling you, it's there. Here's my point. I want you to try, because that's the thing holding you back, is that you're afraid. When we're afraid, any excuse will do. I'm about to go through the rest of these steps, and you know what's going to happen for some of you? You're going to get afraid. Because I'm going to tell you to step out of the person that's currently the version of you that's sitting in this chair can't do what you want. You must go to you 2.0. And for most people, that's scary. That's what's about to happen. Because I'm just going to take you through the journey of J 2.0, 3.0, and 2.1, and I keep having these patches and updates as time goes forward. That's it. But if I can't get you to think, maybe I can. Yes, it's gonna hurt, but it's worth it. Because I promise you, Christina hasn't had, success does not go straight up. I know, right?
My experience is definitely up and down.
Yeah, right.
I thought I was the only one.
No. Yeah.
I've done it wrong.
Yeah, I know, right? We're all so afraid of doing it wrong, we don't do it at all. And that's the challenge. And I need you to go out there. The marketplace needs you. The people whose retirement plans are suffering and earning 2.45%, or in his case, 6, they need you, right? Because if we don't go out there and become this, how many jobs are created? Does that sound like today's job market yet? If we don't go out there and become this, there could be an oversupply of money earning low interest rate. Wait a minute. If we don't become this, there could be way too many of these people who are overeducated and working at McDonald's. Does that sound familiar? The solution is right here with you in between your two ears. Because you see property differently than I do. You are uniquely designed to serve a certain customer. It's a concept that I teach called investor identity. There are people that, I don't care, we could both play in the same market, we could both do apartment buildings, but I promise you, we're serving different people. Why? Because I resonate with a different person. It's like two people both own a restaurant. One does Italian food, the other does Greek. They like each other. Why? Because it doesn't really matter. They're both the restaurant. And that's the thing I got to get you to understand too, is that none of us in this room are in competition, because most of us are going to be serving completely different individuals. You're going to be serving different buyers, sellers, and investors than I am. Okay? So the first thing you must have is you got to have that knowledge of that you need buyers, sellers, and investors, but more important, you need a system which brings them to you consistently. buyers, sellers, and investors. The reason you're still at your job is one reason only. Nobody knows you're in business. That's it. You don't have the ability to be in front of other people while you're doing something else. If you could have your message in front of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people a day, every day, while you were at work, you would not be at what you call a job too long before you were done, because of all the other stuff that I've mentioned thus far.